Wow. What a show that was. And to think also, this is the first time I am reviewing a NXT TakeOver special on my channel live or reviewing one. And let me tell you something. I could not ask for a better show to review. What's going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for my live review of NXT TakeOver War Games, which took place tonight, November 18, 2017, at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. My goodness, I couldn't wait for this show all day. I was excited. I just went nuts for this. I went all out for this show. I wore my Aleister Black shirt because I was looking forward to seeing him wrestle tonight. What else did I got? Wings, some honey barbecue and Parmesan garlic wings from Buffalo Wild Wings. I was so ready to go for this match. I mean, the night was I was spending the night for myself, a Saturday night, just relaxing, just watching TakeOver. Tomorrow night, hang out with friends for Survivor Series. It's already an awesome weekend, and this weekend just really kicked off great with NXT TakeOver War Games. My goodness. I mean, it's tough for me to determine now what's my favorite takeover of the year. It's either Chicago, Brooklyn 3, or War Games. So leaning a little more towards Brooklyn 3. Maybe War Games second, Chicago third. I don't know. This was a really good show. And what I liked about this show was there was a lot of new talent who got to have a chance on TakeOver. And some really took advantage of it. And it was awesome. I loved it. There was especially one man who I felt really, really came onto the show tonight as well. But yes, other than that, I can't even say anything else before we get into the show. Oh, look, Tian Coupar's in a live chat. What's up, man? It said, WB, can you top NXT tomorrow night? The card has the potential. It has the potential to, put up a good fight. I just don't want to get my hopes up because the main roster does tend, as I always say, to give good hype, but then tend to disappoint. So I don't want to think it's going to be a bad show. I want to think it's going to be a good show, but I don't want to get my hopes up. We'll see what happens tomorrow night, but the stakes are high. We could get a good show as well tomorrow night. But let's get right into this review, guys. Now, I didn't get to see all of the first match. I missed a couple minutes of it because I was having some streaming issues, but I got it up and going. But the first match was Lars Sullivan taking on Cassius Ohno. A match that I felt that was not going to really tear the house down that bad, but I felt it could be a solid big man match. Like, the fact that I thought it was going to be – I'm not sure how long they were going to give them. I think they only gave them, a little under 12 minutes. Let me actually let me look up really quick how long the matches were. Let me type this up. NXT TakeOver War Games Wikipedia. Okay, not to use Wikipedia times, but you know what? Who cares? I'm using it tonight. Let me see here. Oh, only 5 minutes. Wow. Let me see here. We had like matches didn't give a heck of a lot of time tonight, but we still got some time. But only 5 minutes and 11 seconds. So that's why I probably didn't get to catch too much of that match. But from what I could see, it was a solid big man match. Again, I was kind of hoping it would be on the level of Brock Lesnar and Goldberg at WrestleMania 33. It was like a 7-minute match, and it was a good big man match. That's what I wanted. And that's, I think, what we got out of this tonight. It allowed Lars Sullivan, who'd been taking on a lot of, smaller jobbers, to go out there and just take on a bigger challenge like Cassius Ohno, a credible veteran as well, who, he's gotten somewhere and built up him being a veteran on NXT as well. He has gotten a title shot against Bobby Roode when he first came back to NXT. But, he didn't really have anything to really he would have been okay with a loss here. And that's what happened, as I predicted Sullivan would win this match. And he did win this match with the freak accident. I believe that's what they're calling his finisher now. Picking up Ohno and just laying him out pretty much. So, I mean, it was a win for Lars Sullivan. He had a strong showing to open up TakeOver. TakeOver War Games. And again, we'll see what's next for Lars Sullivan as well as he continues his path of destruction. I wonder who he would face next. Not sure. I have to think about it, but we'll see what happens next. But Lars Sullivan does get the victory over Cassius Ohno, and yep, we are moving on to the next match, which I put up a poll on Twitter, and TN Couponer, anybody else is in the live chat, if you want, I'd ask if if someone would answer to this poll. Wow, I have 19 votes on it. What match was the match of the night tonight at TakeOver War Games? Because we had great matches tonight, but there was two in particular that really stole the show. And I said again in this review, there was one man who I felt really, really exploded onto the scene tonight, despite not winning. And it came in this match. Aleister Black and the Velveteen Dream. Now, again, a story about the Velveteen Dream. When I first started watching NXT, he was just Patrick Clark, his same old self. Coming out and there was red, white, and blue, whatever heck he was wearing. He seemed like just a little bit like a jobber at the time. Then he repackaged as a Velveteen Dream, and I was thinking, this is going to be goofy. This is not going to work at all for him. And when he started to speak with Aleister Black, I'm thinking, oh, this is just going to be just set up for just a match in like 2 weeks on NXT. And I thought they were going to take it. I thought they were going to take this into a takeover match. I'm like, you're crazy. Like, this guy isn't really going to be anything that spectacular, But I got to see him, fight, some more lower card jobbers. I saw the potential in him, especially the last couple of matches. I realized, hey, he's a big cruiserweight, pretty much. He's like 6'2", 6'3", almost 230 pounds, very agile. And I'm like, his styles could mesh well with Aleister Black. Boy, did it not disappoint at all. Him and Aleister went out there and just tore the house down. I mean, it was a lot more known for the mind games being played in there, because most of the match. Well, first off, the Velveteen Dream came out and just looking like a typical prince as he's supposed to be with the character he is. He takes off what's covering his pants. He is wearing Aleister Black on one pants leg and himself on the other. And I'm like, this is classy. This is already making him look good. And then the match itself, again, it was just two guys with similar styles just meshing very well together. And most of the match, the Velveteen Dream is just saying, say my name, say my name, say my name. And we're thinking, is he really going to do it? Is he going to say his name? And I, for one, felt that even though I'm wearing my Aleister Black t-shirt and I wanted Aleister Black to win, I was completely cool with Aleister Black winning. I felt that it wouldn't hurt to see the Velveteen Dream win this match, just make a big statement or whatnot. But if he wasn't going to win this match, at least make him look strong. And boy, did they make him look good. The mind games he played with Black, as I said before, he was mocking him, like the way Black just goes for a dive, he just falls back and just sits down in his meditating pose. The Dream got in there and started doing that, mocking him. He was doing his goofy little, dance as well. And then I thought he may have had him when he hit that it was something I think they called it in the matching Mario called it the Death Valley Death Valley drop or DDT, whatever it was. The move where he puts you on his shoulders, just like that little cartwheel and spins. I love that move. But what I like even more about him is the purple Rainbreaker, that high elbow. It's just amazing. Again, with how big he is, the height he gets on that thing comes down. But when he came down trying to do the purple Rainmaker on Aleister Black, unfortunately he ate his foot, and then he got stuck in the ropes. He escaped it, and then towards the end, you didn't know who was going to win. That's what I like. Because again, I was worried since the Velveteen Dream hadn't really faced anybody on Aleister Black's level. I was worried. Oh, what if this turns a little bit of a squash match? Because he did have good showings against guys like Leo Rush, Cesar Bononi, and a few others. But to me, it was he wasn't quite built up strong enough to have me have the full confidence at first in thinking that this feud with him and Aleister Black was going to work. But again, was I wrong? Again, he really meshed well with Aleister. And as you said in the live chat, TN Couponer, they tore it up. And like my goodness, again, like he was getting. I mean, of course, the crowd was still cheering for Alistair, but Velveteen Dream was really the crowd was really behind him as well. I'm not happy for him because again, he came in. I thought it was some type of joke, and then they've actually made this character work just by this whole thing with fading to black, and then the Velveteen Dream symbolized light. And then he this whole thing with him just wanting him to get his attention. I want you to say my name. And but then Aleister Black would eventually win the match with a black mass, that spinning heel kick, that sick looking spinning heel kick that I absolutely love, to pick up the victory. But the crowd was on its feet. It was awesome. But then after the match, Aleister Black had the mic in his hand and he said, "Enjoy infamy. Velveteen Dream." And the Velveteen Dream was he was shocked. He was ecstatic. He couldn't believe that in the end, despite him losing, he still got what he wanted. And that was for Aleister Black to say his name. And yes, as you said, the mind games, like the match itself, like wrestling wise, it was great. But the mind games played in this match as well was what even made it better than it looked. That's why this is at least a strong contender for match of the night, if not at least second to the War Games match, because this match was just unreal. Again, I became a fan of the Velveteen Dream through this match. And again, I'm wearing Aleister Black's shirt, but I was at times hoping that maybe Velveteen Dream would pull off this victory because he's really making this character work. Again, Patrick Clark's only 22 years old. He's really young. He's already making a good impression on us. I'd say maybe by later next year he could be in line for an NXT championship shot. He'll get a big victory though someday, but tonight was about making a statement. And again, as I said at the beginning of this review, NXT War Games gave a lot of new talent opportunities on this show, and boy, did they tear the house down, and especially the Velveteen Dream. I could see him going really far in NXT. So we'll see what happens next for him as well, and for Aleister Black. Could this feud continue? Because the Dream was interviewed backstage afterwards, and they say, "How are you taking your defeat?" And all he could say was, "Aleister Black said my name." He may have lost the match, but his mission was accomplished. Aleister Black said his name. But just congratulations to Aleister Black and the Velveteen Dream. You guys really, really tore the house down tonight. And again, you guys put up a strong case for match of the night, in my honest opinion. Just wow. I loved it. But that's all I got to say for that match. Let's move on now to our third match of the evening, which was the Fatal 4-Way for the vacated NXT Women's Championship. It was the winner of the Mae Young Classic, Kairi Sane, taking on Peyton Royce, Ember Moon, and Nikki Cross. Now, as I probably said before as well, when this whole thing started, you would think that Kairi Sane was the favorite to win, since she just came off that, that really impressive Mae Young Classic run. But then they did a great job. As the thing I like about this pay-per-view is most of the matches, I can say, were very unpredictable. You did not know who was going to win. Yes, Cassius Ohno was probably meant to put over Lars Sullivan, but with Cassius Ohno still, on a roll as well, we weren't sure who's going to win there. Again, the same thing about Aleister Black and the Velveteen Dream. With the Dream not really getting that big victory yet, you weren't sure they would go as far as giving him the victory. Then you had this match where there's any woman pretty much win this match. All of them had a case and had the momentum, told a great story and winning it. Same with against the NXT Championship. The War Games match I felt was a little bit more predictable, but it didn't matter to me. I just wanted to see an awesome match. But again, that's what I think that made this pay-per-view so awesome. Everything was so unpredictable. You didn't know what was going to happen. But getting back to this Fatal 4-Way. So again, the review over, my cases for each person. Kairi Sane could have seen winning, because my thing was if they're going to put the belt on Kairi Sane right now, do it in a way where someone fresh wins the belt. And someday, when Kairi Sane would get to the main roster and be with Asuka, it'd be like, well, you took my place, but could you have really beaten me? but then I'm thinking, I'm not sure how long Kairi Sane would be in NXT, and I was worried that maybe it might have been just a little too soon as to put that belt on her. I like the new theme song for her. She debuted a new theme song also. That's why she was my #1 pick, because I felt that she was just, it might have been just a little too soon, I felt, possibly. And again, also, I'm not sure how long. I'm hoping the main roster does still, keep Asuka undefeated for quite a while and leave that first victory, that first loss, feel very special as well. So I thought maybe that if they would put the title on Kairi Sane, they would build up to her eventually being the one to hand Asuka her first loss on the main roster. But again, I felt it might have been a little too soon. But if Kairi Sane was going to lose this match, then I did not want her to see her get pinned. That's the only thing I asked on the losing end, is Kairi Sane does not get pinned, which that's not what happened. Ember Moon, I felt, she is a strong favorite to win as well. But to me, it would just look like, okay, if she's going to win the match anyways, then why not give her the belt at TakeOver Brooklyn 3? Even though, in retrospect, it was good to still have Asuka defeat Ember Moon to make Asuka just have like the legacy cement that she had in NXT, being undefeated and being unique as well. So yeah, that was a little bit of a nitpick, but it's like, again, it's like, Ember deserves it. She can definitely be the face. If she would win the championship, which I'm not going to say who won a championship, even though those watching know who won a championship, I'd be wondering what they would do with Ember Moon as NXT Women's Champion, which I'll talk a little about that at the end of this match. Peyton Royce was like, the dark horse in this match. It's just a typical, we need to get like a heel in there, someone who, is just always hungry to be in the title run, but not someone necessarily we thought would win. I thought, of all people, she was the one that was least likely to win it, but I wouldn't be surprised if she would have pulled over the upset, because as I keep saying, the same thing happening with Andrade Cien Almas. It's like, yes, after a while they developed them as like a veteran heel helping put over other talent, but there comes a time where they got to get their own success as well, build their credibility as well too, So that's why my Peyton Royce winning. My favorite to win this match, the one that my prediction was Nikki Cross, because of just the different momentum she's had. She's been in that babyface transition, and as Sandy's been more so tweeners as well since TakeOver Brooklyn 3, but Nikki Cross has really seen them embrace more of the babyface turn, and she had to go through some hoops to get there, such as Tainara Conti distracting her in her qualifying match, but she got another chance in the Battle Royale for the final contender. So I thought with that momentum, I thought maybe she had the strongest chance of winning it. The match itself was good. It was only like a 10-minute match though. But the match went on. Everybody got their moment to shine. Everybody hit their finishers in this match. Nikki Cross hit that fisherman suplex or fisherman neck breaker, and then Peyton Royce is that one suplex she hit. We put her into the bridge. Ember Moon hit her Eclipse, and Kairi Sane hit her insane elbow drop, as well as she hit hers on both Peyton Royce and Nikki Cross, I think, because it happened that because Ember Moon was when it broke up the pin on there. I thought versus Kairi was gonna win right there. But yeah, everybody fired their best shots. Everyone. I remember there was a moment towards the end also where Peyton Royce was picking up momentum, laying everybody outside the ring. I thought, oh, maybe this is Peyton closing in on the victory and whatnot. But then Ember Moon came out of nowhere and hit an Eclipse on both Peyton Royce and Nikki Cross, and pins Nikki Cross, and Ember Moon well-deservingly wins the NXT Women's Championship. Now, again, as I said before, Ember was not my top pick to win, again, because I felt that, if Ember's going to win this, it's going to look like, okay, well then, why didn't she just get the title at TakeOver Brooklyn 3? But then again, it was a good thing for Asuka to beat Ember, showing that, hey, I can beat anybody, and I really am that dominant. It just pretty much solidified, who Asuka legitimately was built to be. She's not just saying everybody else. She's literally different from everybody else. So Ember winning a title, okay, that's completely cool with me. It's just that I'm wondering where are they going to go next with this? Are they going to slowly have Ember start getting a little cocky, thinking that she's the face of this women's division and whatnot? Because as I thought, if she didn't win the match, I thought she could have turned heel, and that would have eventually led to her getting her title win. Because I felt like it would have been a little bit fresh, a little bit more interesting. But again, I'm completely cool with this. I'm happy for Ember Moon. She worked hard, deserved it. And after the match, what I liked also was not only was William Regal in there to hand the vacated Women's Championship to her, but Asuka, who was in the crowd, came in and passed it on her. So it was kind of like, a passing of the torch moment or something like that on to Ember Moon, who is now the newest woman to beat in the NXT Women's Division after Asuka. Tia Couponer says, Ember was my second pick. Also thought that Nikki Cross would have won. Same here. But yes, I thought that moment was really cool there with having Asuka pass over, and then I at first I thought, what if Ember turned heel there and beat down Asuka or something like that to say, now get out of the ring or whatnot. Just like a slap in the face or whatever. I thought that, that would have been like a well, but they didn't do that. But again, completely cool. I'm interested to see where to go with this. So yeah, Ember Moon is your new NXT Women's Champion. Again, very well deserving. She's worked hard for it, and she got it not in her hometown. She's from Dallas, but in her home state of Texas. So again, congratulations to Ember Moon. I look forward to see what happens next with her. Next, we had the NXT Championship. And again, I was happy that the War Games match was the main event, not the championship match. Because, although the championship match was going to be expected to be good, I felt the War Games match is more deserving of being the main event. But we got the NXT Championship match. It was Drew McIntyre taking on Andrade Cien Almas. The match was a good match. It was not, fantastic. It was better than solid. It was a good match. This is one match though where I was I felt the finish was a little bit abrupt, but it was because of the possible injury to Drew McIntyre. But let's talk about the match first off for a second. So again, this match has come about because Andrade Cien Almas has been on a roll lately. He's a lot more focused than he was before with Zelina Vega by his side, picking up victories over Johnny Gargano and a few others. He got one over Roderick Strong and a couple of, and he's been winning and he's got some momentum going. So now he wanted an NXT Championship match, and Drew McIntyre, being the fighting champion that he is, he said, "Well, step with me like a man, and I'm going to defend this title." And Almas, it was just Zelina Vega doing all of Almas's bidding for him pretty much, and then Almas finally attacked and signed a contract. He attacked again this past week on NXT, and this match again, Almas, with Almas developing a better character and his wrestling always being being a really solid luchador, he's making a great case. And again, when he gets to the main roster, I don't know if he'll ever be a WWE champion, but I definitely see him one day being a solid, Intercontinental or United States champion as well. But again, this match was really good with McIntyre. And I was glad that McIntyre got better matches. His match with Bobby Roode at TakeOver Brooklyn 3, it was okay. I just didn't quite feel like, they really meshed well together. They didn't have the best chemistry as well in there. It wasn't really their faults. They did the best they could. But I was a little with the with how it was. And Tia Couponer says, I was surprised about the NXT title match. So was I. I wasn't sure at first if McIntyre was going to retain or not. But we get to that. We get to that ending towards the end of the match. We had a couple of moments where it looked like Almas was going to win, and then McIntyre was going to win. There was a moment where, Almas went outside the ring, grabbed the NXT Championship, distracting the referee, and Zelina Vega, my goodness, that woman is so fearless, hit another Hurricanrana on Drew McIntyre. This woman is so small, going up against Drew McIntyre, who's like 6'5", 260 pounds. And she's like literally, Hurricanrana-ing him. She did it to Roderick Strong. She tried taking him McIntyre out again last week with a crossbody. This girl has no fear at all. And then with that, Almas ran. I believe I think he tried hitting the hammerlock DDT on McIntyre there, and McIntyre kicked out. He fired his best shot. McIntyre's probably retaining this. He hits the Claymore, kick though on Almas. He's about to win, but then when the referee was looking, Vega put Almas's foot on the rope. So I'm like, this match, how is this going to end? But then there was a moment where it looked like, right toward the end of the match, I can't remember what exactly happened, but it looked like, and he said something, I think Marvin also said something, it looked like that he may have tore his groin or something like that. He may have suffered some type of injury. And then they just had Almas go onto like the top rope, and I thought he was going to hit the hammerlock DDT on McIntyre from the top rope, but he looked like he just planted just like a modified version of a DDT, and it looked okay, but it wasn't like I was hoping for like a hammerlock DDT from the top rope. But Almas gets the victory, and he's now the NXT champion. I know a lot of people were shocked about that. I mean, I was somewhat shocked too, but at the same time, I wasn't because of the long-term booking scenario I have if Almas won the championship, which he did tonight. So I'm going to mention this idea again. Those of you who haven't heard it yet, again, give me your thoughts on it. If you haven't yet, let me see what we think of this. And I want to give credit to my friend Rogue One Kenobi as well, who added an extra stipulation to this as well. So my plan was, what if Almas won the title, which he did tonight? He wins the title, and McIntyre gets his rematch maybe sometime before NXT TakeOver Philly. Because, I mean, if anything, again, McIntyre, he doesn't need a long run at NXT. He's ready to go up to the main roster. He's much more improved than he was in his first run with WWE when he was with 3MB and whatnot back in 2012 and 2013, whenever it was. Oh, 2014 as well, because that was when also the Shield beat them down backstage. But what if with Almas winning the title, after McIntyre gets his rematch, Almas needs a new opponent? Well, Johnny Gargano happens to be a reasonable person because he's being built up as like an ultimate underdog right now, going through a tough time with his best friend Tommaso Ciampa turning on him. And then Gargano has had a feud with Almas when he fought him at TakeOver Brooklyn 3 and in a rematch on NXT several weeks ago, where both times Zelina Vega just takes off her jacket and is wearing a DIY shirt underneath, getting to the head of Johnny Gargano, who is still, like not really been able to have a hard time moving past that his best friend turned on him the way he did. And, Tommaso Ciampa's not been around because of his knee injury, but we know he's going to be back hopefully in time for NXT TakeOver New Orleans. So let's do this. Somehow, Johnny Gargano gets the NXT title shot at NXT TakeOver Philadelphia because he needs to prove and he can overcome and finally get a victory over Andrade Cien Almas, who's been a thorn in his side as well, making things worse with Gargano and Ciampa. And I know some people are thinking, okay, well, what if Ciampa costs him the title? It could possibly happen. I will not deny, but make it more interesting. And this is where I add in Robbie's idea. Make it a match where Gargano has to win the championship, or if he doesn't, he leaves NXT. Because at this point, I'm sure Gargano is, and he's teased a little bit here and there, feels he may not belong in NXT anymore because he's been losing some matches. It will raise the stakes even higher because I believe I would like to see him have the championship or take over New Orleans and defend it against Tommaso Ciampa there because, as I keep saying, let's be real. What other match is going to top off Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa? It was hard to top it off in the second or third round of the Cruiserweight Classic last summer. These two know how to put on a main event match of the year caliber type match. And it's not going to be able to be topped off at NXT TakeOver New Orleans, which is why no matter what happens, it needs to be the main event. And why not put the title on Johnny Gargano to have it be defending the main event? Whoever wins doesn't matter, but nothing's going to be able to top off that match. Which is why, again, tonight we had, the NXT Championship match not be the main event. We had the War Games match be main event. So that's my long-term booking. That's why I was pretty, ecstatic that I got this prediction right with Almas winning and setting up Almas and Gargano at NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. Gargano wins there and goes on to face Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship at NXT TakeOver New Orleans, the main event of TakeOver New Orleans next April. What are your thoughts, guys? Let me know what you think of it as well. Down in the comment section, live chat. And Thank you for endorsing me, TN Couponer. Please sign Robbie and Mike. Yes, thank you very much, TN Couponer. Thank you for the endorsement. But yes, that was my thought on the NXT Championship match. Now let's move on to this main event, the War Games match between the three teams of Roderick Strong and the Authors of Pain, the NXT Tag Team Champions, Sanity, and the Undisputed Era. Now, as I said before, this was not as predictable of a match because, the stakes have been really set high for Undisputed Era. They came in at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, despite Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly each having a singles match against Aleister Black like sometime this past July. But they made their debuts. First, they attacked Sanity and AOP after the NXT Tag Team match. And then Adam Cole and them attacked Drew McIntyre after the NXT Championship match. So they set the bar pretty high for these guys. So okay, this needs to be a match for them to win. And the stakes were raised as high as they could with all the chaos involved in these three teams and Roderick Strong involved in there as well. Almost getting him to join the Undisputed Era, but then he, turned them down and attacked them instead. So we got these three teaming up in a War Games match. Because why not? We have, again, with how ruthless this feud has been, why not have it be a War Games match? And literally go to war and beat the heck out of each other. So that's exactly what we're getting. Now, again, this was the first time, oh yeah, you mean WWE version of War Games. My bad. But this is the first time that I've ever got to experience a War Games match. And I thought it was a lot of fun. This match went on for 50 minutes. 50-minute match, and I enjoyed it the whole way through. Never a dull moment. So the rules are you have three people. We'll start off, one member from each team start off in the ring. Well, there's two rings inside a steel cage. The other two members of each team are locked in a shark cage. And every 5 minutes, I believe it was, the cage opened. One of the teams were entered into the ring. And the order of the teams that entered into the ring throughout the match were Undisputed Era, then AOP, then Sanity. So it started off with Roderick Strong, Adam Cole, and Eric Young in the ring at the same time. Now, also the rules are you can use any weapons. There's no decision, no pinfalls or submissions until everybody has entered the ring. And you can't escape the cage. If you escape the cage, your team forfeits. So the match was going good. Again, everybody was, it was just a typical, handicap match for a while. Until the match just really picked up, though, when Sanity entered, the last team. And let me tell you something. Despite the fact this team did not win, the star of this match, in my opinion, was Killian Dane. My goodness, was he just blowing my mind with some of the stuff he was doing. Let me see here. Like when they first escaped the cage, Alexander Wolf is charging to the cage after they're released from their shark cage. And I'm thinking, why is Killian Dane taking his time? And I realized that after a while, oh, look, he's pulling out some weapons. He's put a garbage can, a kendo stick, a chair, a couple tables, and then a chain. And he locked up the cage. And there was another chain there that was eventually had Kyle O'Reilly using that on Alexander Wolf to do a submission. But Killian Dane got in this match. He was multitasking, doing like a Samoan drop or like a fireman's carry and just full body slam from overboard. He did a senton and a drop kick at the same time. He what else did he do? He did a lot of crazy shenanigans in this match. He did a coast to coast. When he was setting that up on Kyle O'Reilly, I'm like, no, he's not going to do a coast to coast. He goes up and does it. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Another man who's probably maybe I don't know, like somewhere in the mid six feet, somewhat like that. I don't know how tall he was, but 300, probably about 300 some pounds. A coast to coast, like Samoa Joe doing the stuff he did amazed me. But Killian Dane was the star of this match, I felt, as he tore up the house. AOP did their madness in there as well. They did the super collider, whatever it's called, into Killian with two members with someone else on their shoulders doing the collider into Killian Dane. They did suplexes like from the ropes. And whatnot. It was just crazy. People going through tables. There was a spot also where Kyle O'Reilly tried swinging at, I can't remember if it was Alexander Wolf or Killian Dane, but he missed and hit the rope, and the chair just came back and knocked him in the face. What else was there in this match? Oh, there was the moment where Adam Cole was up top of the cage. And I thought he was going to do like some type of like elbow drop or something big from the top. But then Roderick Strong, who had a few moments himself in this match, goes up to the top of the cage. And I'm thinking, oh, don't tell me like Adam Cole's going to, Adam Cole's going to toss Strong out of the ring, causing his team to have to leave. But then Roderick Strong does a suplex from the top of the cage, knocks everybody down from the bottom. And then what's funny was I forgot who it was. Somebody got a pinfall, had a pin on someone else. They started doing a count. I'm like, wait, someone actually pinning it? I'm like, who's pinning this? Who's pinning who here? And then the pin got broken up. TN Couponer says, can you imagine if Killian Dane and Braun Strowman teamed up? Dang, that would be quite a tag team. Dang, that'd be quite a tag team. They'd be big paths of destructions as well. Oh man. But again, just a lot of the build of this matchup, these teams were just going to war with each other. This was literally war. This was awesome. The only little nitpick I have about this match was I was hoping for a little bit more of a dramatic finisher involving every member of the team. And all we got was just, Eric Young holding up a chair, and Adam Cole did a Shining Wizard into the chair that hit Eric Young, and that's how the match ended. I was a tad disappointed by that. I was hoping for maybe like a little bit more of a dramatic finish involving Undisputed Era, because they were my pick to win, because I felt they needed to get this victory. The bar was set so high for them that they needed to get this victory to look dominating. And they did. Again, I'm glad they got the right team won. It's just, I wish that they would have had a little bit more of a dramatic ending. But my goodness, carnage everywhere. It was an awesome main event. Again, for my first ever War Games match, I loved it. And I don't know when we're going to see another War Games match again, but I hope that it's a bunch of people like Sanity, AOP and Roderick Strong, and Undisputed Era at it again. So now the Undisputed Era is probably going to at least move on and get the tag titles, probably a TakeOver Philly or whatnot. With that idea I have for Andrade Cien Almas, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa, I'd say maybe wait on the title match for Adam Cole till a little bit later next year. But when it happens, these guys are literally tearing up and taking over NXT, and that's why I love this match, and it's setting the bar high for the Undisputed Era, the well-deserving team to win. But that's pretty much it, guys. That is my review for NXT TakeOver War Games. Again, an amazing show. I'm still not sure which one I like better, though. It's between Chicago, Brooklyn 3, and War Games. Grade-wise for War Games, though, I'm going to give it an A-, a very strong A-, close to an A. But the two matches that I thought the finishers were a little bit odd. The championship match was great, don't get me wrong. The opening match was good, and then the women's match was good as well. They weren't classics or standout matches, but they were still really great matches. I would recommend going back and watching it again. And also, with the young talent, the new talent we had in here, especially the Velveteen Dream, Lars Sullivan, Undisputed Era, Kairi Sane, they were. It's. I don't want the bar to be set too high for all of them as well. I know they can even do better following this up. So that's why it was still an excellent show. I cannot deny that this show deserves a really strong A-. Very close to just a regular A, but a strong A-, like a 92% or whatever you want to give us. Excellent show. I enjoyed it. Let's go to the Twitter polls here really quick. What grade would you give NXT TakeOver War Games tonight? 11 votes. All said A. Excellent. Just what I love. No, nobody on there trying to, be cheap about it. Ooh, I got 30 votes, though, for this poll. What was match of the night? So my choices were the War Games match, Aleister Black and the Velveteen Dream, the NXT Championship, the NXT Women's Championship. I couldn't fit in there a Cassius Ohno and Lars Sullivan on the poll because you're only allowed up to 4 choices on the poll. But, I mean, that was, again, it was a solid match, but that was definitely, not the best match of the night, though. But listen to these 30 votes. Nobody said the NXT Championship or the NXT Women's Championship match. 77% the War Games match, and 23% said Aleister Black and the Velveteen Dream. So, at 30 votes, most of them say the War Games match. So that's what I'll go with as well. Again, but Aleister Black and the Velveteen Dream definitely tore up the house tonight. Give all the credits to them, especially to Velveteen Dream as well, making his first big impression. He's going to go beyond of ways in here in NXT. But thank you, TN Couponer, for joining in the live chat. Anybody else who watches this review later on, thank you for watching this as well as always. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, and be sure to click that like and subscribe for more content to come on this channel. One more thing I'm going to be uploading tonight is I'm going to do my WrestleMania 22 retro review. I got to watch that today. Very solid show. I'm excited to talk about that as well. And then tomorrow, if I get WrestleMania 23 out of the way, I try to do that sometime tomorrow as well. If not, I will be back up here live for my Survivor Series review. Unless anybody else wants to do a live review, me to join their live review, I'll just do that with them. But not, then expect a live review for Survivor Series tomorrow night as well. This week also, my typical reviews are Raw, SmackDown, NXT. However, I want to go out and visit some friends on Monday night, so I'm not going to be able to watch Raw right away. So my Raw review will be up sometime Tuesday during the day, but expect that then. And yeah, then we have Thanksgiving next week. Hope you all are preparing for a great holiday as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for tuning in, TN Couponer. And with that, I will see you guys tomorrow night as we talk about Survivor Series. Will it top off NXT TakeOver War Games? We'll have to wait and see. Until then, guys, I'm the Clubman 1993, and have a great night.